No,
I'm
we're not singing
it.
You know what's this today, fam?
What?
Pair, September.
Who?
Earth, Wind & Fire, September.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Well done.
You listened to that earlier in the year, I feel like.
I feel like one of you put it in a group chat.
You did.
I think I was...
It was like Easter times.
Yeah, I believe I was
Okay.
singing. Maybe, I don't know. But I was rinsing that song today, fam.
Well done,
Sad.
man.
Because you mentioned...
Quality of the music you're listening to is...
Straight after that, I went to...
Hanson.
Hanson.
Who's that? I don't know, you know.
Yeah, Mo looks like he listens to Hanson,
He
innit?
does listen to Hanson.
Who's Hanson?
Shut up.
Do
You know who Hanson
wap,
is.
doop.
But
all that.
do wap, do
shit.
wap. And then. Yeah.
Yo, Mo looks like he listens to all the flagrant pop bands.
Emmanuel Sash
back
should
in
never
the
be using
90s.
those
What's the
sound
problem?
effects.
S Club 7 I listen to.
You still?
Nah, I have.
Yo, Bradley from S Club 7 was really moist, man.
What do they think? Bruv, he was an absolute... This guy used to just dance, bruv. Little dickhead, fam. You know, black guy, all you do is dance, bruv. Did he even sing for the little pussy old fam?
What did he do to you?
Fucking dickhead, bruv, man. Because what was that song? Ain't no party like I ain't wanna show you how. Yeah. And then he's there with a yellow fucking vest up just dancing in the fucking thing.
That sleeveless stuff.
Yeah,
innit?
little fucking absolute Uncle Ruckus looking motherfucker,
Uncle
fam.
Ruckus.
What? I said
You know,
Bradley
Yo,
Mo
Mo
Mooney.
needs his own podcast, man.
No,
This guy's
because you know
mad.
what's mad? Like, do you remember everyone had their own little fish, like what was it? Like John from
I know what you're talking about as well.
Bradley, do your
yeah,
swing.
yeah.
Why is it he's got a swing? Why? Everyone's got something nice. Bradley, do your swing. And we got Joe. She's got the flow. Am I a dickhead?
What's going on, world? Welcome to episode 9 of the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast with me, Yemi, Mohammed, and Peter. Gentlemen, how we doing today?
That was flawless.
It was good,
That
innit?
was flawless.
Yeah, for some context, audience, we've been trying to practice our intros today. Mo and Peter still have a lot of work to do,
Yeah,
but it's all good. That
was flawless. But I give you that, man. Shit.
Thank you very much. How you guys doing?
I'm living.
You out here?
I'm out here. You know me. I'm living.
Mo's wearing his Arsenal shirt. Don't know why. They're very unsuccessful.
Perez, is it?
Oh yeah, it's the Perez one.
It's the Perez one at the back.
Fuck Perez. I'm joking.
All right, cool, fam.
Pete, how you doing?
Is he better than Beckham?
Please, one.
Oh man.
No, we're not doing that. I'm joking.
We're not doing
Just
that
for context, there's two people in this room that said David Beckham
I didn't say
is
that.
very close to Perez.
No, I just said it's not as far as you think.
That's what I said. It's close to Perez.
I never said close. I just said it's not as far as you think.
And they said David Beckham is better than Freddie Lindbergh. Red-headed Freddie.
Oh, I stand by that.
I said I'm taking Beckham away.
I stand by that.
Okay, cool. The same. You know what? Let me never get into it.
I
Shout out to
stand
Freddie
by
Lindbergh.
that.
I'm going to get you the back
Shout
of
out
the
all
shirt
of
next
them.
season.
Shout all of them.
No, don't shout David Beckham.
Why?
There's no need.
Peter, how you doing?
I'm here, man. You know, going through it, but you know, I'm here, man.
Feel you.
Okay.
All right. The less said about that, the better.
You feel me?
Feel you. So no one's gonna ask me how I am.
Nah, not really, right?
Feel you?
Let's dwell on how I am. Right now.
Do you want to know how you are?
No.
See this guy, bro.
Yo, Yemi, how's it going?
He wants all the smoke, but no fire.
I'm saying.
craziness.
Yemi, how's it going?
Good man. I'm just here, ready to do some podding, innit?
How's your week?
Week has been alright, man. What did I do this week? I saw Nux at the Hoxton Bar and Kitchen. So
Nux?
shout out Nux, yeah. He's K-N-U-C-K-S. Nux Music on Instagram. Very dope rapper from Northwest, from Kilburn, I believe. South Kilburn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he dropped a very dope project like a month or so ago called NRG 105. It's dope, man. He had Kadiata supporting him. Shout out to Kadiata. Very dope guy as well. Who also brought out Sam Wise. And Nux brought out a bunch of people, man. Brought out Mira May, brought out Wretch, brought out, yeah, I mentioned Wretch, whatever. Yeah, he brought out Wretch. He brought out, I want to say he brought out one more person, but I can't remember. But it was a dope show. So shout out to Nux and everyone involved. Other than that, it's just been like a normal week, man. Pretty much.
P, how's your week?
Yeah, it's been cool, man. As I said, man, you know, I'm going through it and shit, but you know.
All right, cool. Well, my week was calm. It's good. Don't want this shit, fam. My week's been calm, you know what I mean? Gearing up to go on holiday next week.
Oh, where you going?
Ibiza, going to Murky Fest.
Oh, nice.
When's that?
Next Sunday, I've been personally invited because of the pod. And I'm trying to shit. Man's Guy Murky Fest next Sunday, so it should be dope.
Who's performing?
Dave, Mostack, Stormzy, Heady One. I think Fredo for some reason.
For some reason, that's rude.
Not like that, but like,
That's weird.
has he got any new music?
Well, he dropped an album this year, didn't he? Earlier the year.
Okay, cool. That's all I know. The other people that Weston's there somewhere. Whoever else is there.
I seen Heady One was on the streets of Paris.
Shout out to Heady. Heady One was in a picture of Russell Westbrook. Shout out to
doing
Heady
up
One,
Fashion Week. He looked a little bit like a toddler, but it's all good.
You know what I mean? The picture of Westbrook, innit?
He looked like a toddler.
Skepta.
Even Skepta looked a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, Westbrook's.
And Miguel was there.
They all look small compared to Westbrook, right?
Oh, 100%.
Guess how tall Westbrook is?
How tall is Westbrook?
Same height as me, 6'3".
6'3". Really?
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
Skepta can't be that
Last time I
much
checked,
shorter.
Westbrook is at best 6'3", 6'4".
Skepta can't be that much shorter.
No, but it's just Westbrook's big as well, like in terms of
Boy.
stature, like in terms of just he's got weight on him. He's wham.
Fair enough.
Stormzy's just quickly. What do you think of his new song?
Nah, not for me.
I haven't heard it.
I don't like it.
And I won't listen.
Alright, cool.
I don't like it. I don't like it when he sings, to be honest. And Crown, it's not for me, man. It's not for me. I just think like Vossy Bop was average, even though Beat is hard. Crown is not good.
Alright. Well, my opinion.
What's your opinion?
Where's it charting? The new one.
Not sure. I don't think it's tried just because it's come
We'll
out. So
we'll find out this week.
Yeah,
We'll find out this week.
They haven't got any expected.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be number one, right?
Maybe not.
I
Maybe.
don't think it would.
Maybe.
be.
Did somebody say plant?
Yo, don't do that.
Oh my
We're
god.
not doing that with Stormzy. I'm sorry. We're not doing that
I'm
with Stormzy.
playing.
I liked it, man. I'm sorry. I think the bars are wavy. I get what you're saying with singing. I'd rather he get singer. But like,
Yeah, but
to me, the bars.
I don't like it. I don't mind when, like,
I don't
rappers-
see what. To me, the bars are. I get it, man. I'm sorry. He's talking about what I want my rapper in the UK to talk about on a personal level.
You don't like your rappers to sing, or is it just him?
I don't mind when he sings.
Okay.
I'm just saying I'd rather like, but that kind of song I get why he doesn't have a singer. Do you get what I'm saying? But like, say Bad Boys when he had Huss was wavy to me. Do you know what I mean? So
I mean, I don't fault him for wanting to try singing. I just don't necessarily like it. And I get the lyrics are great, all uplifting stuff like that. But
no, I love
there's only so many times I want to hear uplifting lyrics, and I know I'm going to get a lot of that from
What?
Stormzy.
Yeah, but that's surely
Yeah,
want
but you
that.
know what I mean. Like we all listen to like gangster rap and stuff, so it's like, bro, we know what it means.
I feel you, but just to be personal, I don't feel like we get. I don't feel like we get enough from it from a UK rapper. So I love it when.
Hey man, we got
Stormzy
Bashy
does it.
Black Boys. We're fine.
I said one song in the last 20 years. Oh, okay.
Hey, Bashy doing up Hollywood now. Shout out him.
He's doing 24 in it.
Something like that.
Shout out to Bashy was always a hustler. He was a bus driver, one rapping, now actor. Yo, Bashy's always been a hustler. Respect it. But yeah, I'm a fan of the song. I'm looking forward to the concert. That's just me.
Looking forward to the album.
Yeah, because I didn't mind Gang Signs and Prayer. I didn't think it was a bad album at all.
That's a good album.
Don't think it was on Huss's level, but I don't think it was a bad album.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Huss, I think, set a level that's like here. And I think Stormzy just came underneath it, but that doesn't mean it's a bad album.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? He had more songs that hit for me that never.
Yeah, fair
Do
enough.
you know what I mean? I'd rather. I like the route he's going in now. But we'll see how it goes.
See how it goes.
Yeah,
These two songs don't fill me with much confidence or like much like looking forward to the album. But obviously, when it drops, I'm going to listen and just see where it goes. Basically,
Do we know when it's dropping?
Nah. Do you think he's going to do better than the first one? Not in terms of charting, in terms of the actual album.
I haven't listened to the first one.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to say no.
I ain't listened to the first one.
You need to, because
You probably should.
side note,
You reckon?
I know we're doing this now, but I really want to have a conversation on Stormzy. So,
No, when you lot want to do
Yeah,
that
I really
conversation,
wanna
then
have-
I'll listen.
because
Yeah,
I really
you should.
I'm just not really a fan.
No,
But I'll definitely listen.
I'm a fan of. Like, I've never hit it. I'm a massive fan of Stormzy. I've seen Stormzy live twice. I'm a massive fan. I feel like we need a conversation. The importance of Stormzy is important, bro. So I feel like a conversation on Stormzy's importance and the body of work. Maybe once the second album drops,
Right.
it'll be good to have that kind of conversation. Vossy Bop wasn't. I get it. I get exactly what Vossy Bop's there for. Do you know what I mean? The second song, I don't think it's going to chart too well. If it does, then obviously it does. I just like the content behind the song more than I like. Vossy Bop was just a single. This song really, the bars was decent to me. And then you had two verses, so I wasn't mad.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, before we start the podcast, I want to send a massive shout out to a couple people. First person is Lil Nas X. He dropped a very good EP.
Yeah, well, he said in a shout out to Lil Nas
I want to say it's called
That's really
7,
fun.
but the EP is very nice. It's good, man. It's good.
What's it called?
It's called 7.
The EP.
EP is called 7. He's got a very dope song called Rodeo on there. Very dope song called Panini on there.
I bet he's got some corny features. I guarantee you.
The only feature is Cardi B.
Oh wait, I'm listening to that song.
It's Rodeo.
Is it good?
I think you'll like it.
She bodies that verse, right? No, don't do that because she's never flopped.
She's okay. I just don't. I wasn't blown away, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, shout out to Lil Nas X for a very cool, nice EP, and also a big shout out to Benny the Butcher who dropped a superb EP called "The Plugs I Met." Yeah. That's probably like top 5 rap projects for me, just off the strength of this weekend listening to it over and over. Probably one of the best rap projects out this year so far.
Peter co-signs that a lot.
Yeah, man. Shout out Jim Jones as well, man. He dropped a great album. El Capo. No, honestly, listen to it, man. I promise you, bro. Listen to it. You will like it. You will like it.
You hear the silence?
Huh?
You hear the silence?
No, I'm being dead serious though. You actually like it.
What's it called?
El Capo.
El Capo.
Yeah. There's an El Chapo, but El Capo.
I see what he done there.
Yeah. Because he's like the capo of Dipset.
Okay.
Wordplay,
no, wordplay. I see it, fam. I see it.
On fleek.
On, like, Chapo,
on fleek.
Cap. Okay.
No disrespect to Jim Jones. Not at all.
Shout out to Jim
Wordplay
Jones.
on fire.
El Capo, fam. That's the wordplay he's delivering us.
El Capo, that's 20 years 5 that are alive right there, my G.
20 years into the game, he's giving us El Capo.
That's GOAT shit right
that's
there.
That's not progress. I don't know what it is.
This,
Blackfoot is quaking in his boots, my G.
Hey,
Jay-Z somewhere thinking, oh shit, El Capo's here, fam.
Nas wants to be his YG.
Cuz. What?
You lot done.
How many songs is the track? How many songs?
I think about 16. Might be wrong though.
16, my G. He aimed for the classic on that one there.
And he sat through all 16?
Yeah. It's a really good project, man. The production is A1.
I listened to this on
his
the flight.
rapping is really good. And it's just a quintessential New York album.
It's solely produced by the Heatmakers, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll listen to this on the flight to Aviva. Banner aside.
Yeah, no, do it. And you will like it.
Because I've never listened to Jim Jones. Actually, that's a good show. I've never listened to a full Jim Jones album.
Wow. No, he makes good
albums. I've tried to, but it's just... Only one I liked in Dipset was... I wasn't even a massive Cam fan. I was always a Jules Santana fan.
You weren't a Cam fan?
Not like that. I was always I was a Santana fan, don't get me wrong. I was a massive Santana fan. Well, yeah, side note. But anything...
I also want to say a happy birthday to an album that I haven't listened to. Jadakiss, Kiss of Death. It was released 15 years ago this weekend. So shout out to Jadakiss.
I'm not doing this.
You need to listen to that, man.
I'm not doing this.
Eventually.
There was also another anniversary this weekend. I just don't remember what it was.
Oh, R.I.P. Prodigy as well. It's been 2 years since
that's what it was. Shout out to Prodigy, man. R.I.P. Shout out to Havoc as well.
100%. Shout out to Havoc.
Any other people
we good.
Listen to your side?
No, we good.
I say Lil Nas X. Capo. Fuck is going on today,
Wordplay.
You know how I mean, fam? Yo.
The God.
Silly,
anyway, what are we talking about today, guys?
Try to think. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Continue.
The distinction between hating and criticism. Now, in the rap world, I suppose at some point in our lives, we get accused of being haters, especially in a world of social media where rappers, every move is being critiqued, every song is being critiqued, and to have an opinion that is against the norm of loving a song or being a fan of it, it might be considered hating. Now, on the other side, there's criticism, which is having an opinion on something and critiquing it for what it is, but not necessarily, having a bad thing to say about the artist in question. And I think over the last few years, or maybe even longer than that, the distinction has been a bit muddled because people are just very quick to say that someone's hating rather than criticizing. So I kind of just wanted to know you guys' thoughts on the distinction and what it takes to be a hater, what it takes to criticize, and, what that means in 2019, essentially. I'm going to take it to my chief hate correspondent, Peter Abiade, because he hates everything.
I was going to ask you lot, what does it mean to be a hater? Because I genuinely don't know. Yeah, but tell me why you guys feel like I'm a hater.
Do you criticize? Is a hater someone that criticizes someone's music before hearing it?
Can be.
Because that's what you do a lot.
You feel like that's what I do?
I feel like you criticize.
You criticize an entire generation of rappers.
Like you don't give
without.
I don't know why we're saying.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
It feels like we're sending
that's
shots.
That's fine. But what does it mean to hate though? Hate on something.
To me, this is the difference between criticism and hate. If you've never heard a project from the person where you haven't technically heard, say right now, artist only got one album in,
right?
I mean, like, he's whack,
right?
Is that not hating?
Why is that hating?
Because you haven't even heard it yet.
How do you know I haven't heard it?
I'm not saying you personally, bro. Chill.
You definitely haven't heard it.
But like, for example, I can't think of anyone. But say right now, if you've never heard a project of someone,
okay,
and then you think that artist is whack,
right?
Is that criticism or is that hating?
I'm gonna go even further actually.
It's probably probably leaning more towards hating.
Do you feel like you do that?
But I always hear something for me to know that I don't like that person and I don't think they're very good.
Something
I don't think that's
like
me
one
hating
single?
though. That's just me knowing what I like.
So, question: have you at all listened to anything by Lil Nas X?
No.
There's no way you not have heard of old
So
Town
when
Road.
when I just shouted out Lil Nas X and you were like Lil Nas X, is that not hating?
You tell me.
Well, let's say you hate. Well, let's say you hate. You don't like. Okay, you don't respect necessarily Lil Nas X because he has
Nas.
X in his name and he has Nas in his name, right?
I was joking about that.
No,
man.
you weren't though. No, you weren't.
You're
And you don't like the Lils. You don't like the new generation of Lils either, which might be another topic for
That's
another
different
day.
though. They're trash.
Well, not all of them.
Who's good?
I couldn't tell you all the Lils, to be honest.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter. So, in that respect, then,
I do like some of the Lils.
Like Lil Zane.
I like him, Lil Uzi Vert.
yeah,
I like that song. All my friends
I
said
knew
that.
you was
Yeah.
gonna name that.
I actually like that song.
I think to be a hater these days is to basically not to give music a chance because of some preconceived notion that they might be trash or they might not necessarily be what you want to hear. And I also think hating is, I suppose it's kind of hard to explain, but when you don't like something and you make it very clear at every step of the way to let people know that you don't like something, that might be conceived, that could be perceived as hating. I think where criticism comes in is, okay, you've listened to something, you've given it a proper crack of the whip, and you have something negative to say about it, but you don't mean it in a way that you're trying to get at the artist.
Yeah.
Necessarily. You're critiquing the music, you're critiquing the lyrics, you're critiquing the production. You know what I'm saying? Whereas hate might necessarily.
So just saying you don't like something blindly is hating then?
100%. Blindly, yes.
I think so.
So if there's an artist that drops tomorrow and I listen to one song and I no longer ever want to hear any music from him ever again, am I a hater?
That's not so much. If you're not listening to anything, then you're a hater. If little so and so comes out tomorrow and drops a project, let's just say it's like the hottest thing in the world, and you've already decided you don't want to listen to it for whatever reason. Maybe it's because you don't like the fact that he's a Lil. Maybe you just don't like the fact that maybe he has like a million tattoos on his face, which is what is the style right now. That could be perceived as hating, and it's not necessarily giving them a fair chance. Like I always encourage people to listen to people that they might not necessarily like, just so you have a more educated analysis of why you don't like them, rather than blindly saying, "No, that shit's trash."
All right, fine. I'll cop to that. I will cop to accepting that a hater is someone that blindly says they don't like something before listening to it. I'll accept that. But I feel like in today's day and age, hating has also become, you get called a hater when you don't like something that's popular.
I agree with that.
100%.
And I think that's completely wrong.
But you have to listen to someone a certain amount of times before you can say, I don't like this person.
I
before you're
personally
a hater.
don't. I personally don't.
So
If
one, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
So one spin's enough for you to say, all right, cool, this person's worked forever to me.
For me personally, yes.
No, I agree. I'm just asking.
But obviously people have different thresholds and have different opinions of what hating is. So that might necessarily be enough for them, but it could be enough for us. And they might necessarily like the artist in question. So they might see you only listening one time. Oh, you didn't see what he said in the third verse. You know what I mean? It's really, really deep and shit. Like things that they say to rationalize them being like a fan or a super fan that you might necessarily get, which then leads you to being called a hater. So there's different thresholds for people, essentially.
No, I agree. Because I feel like also one person's opinion doesn't mean you hate him. Like if I say XXX Tentacion's whack, well, I feel like that's me hating. I feel like that's just an opinion. I feel like because...
Have you heard his music?
Yeah, I've heard one or two tracks.
Okay.
I'm not going to say to you I've listened to his whole discography because I haven't. I've heard one or two tracks, but I just feel like he's whack. But I feel like that's something people look at and be like, yo...
He could rap. R.I.P. He could rap.
I didn't see it.
I think it's subjective though, isn't it?
That's what I think, which I don't feel like people get though. That's what I was trying to get to. I don't feel like people get the subjectiveness of someone's opinion. I feel like right now, if someone was to come to us and say Nas was whack, you can't tell me that's someone's opinion. Do you know what I mean? It's a tricky one.
Yeah.
Because someone, say right now,
someone's opinion.
say this person says...
That's an insane
Say
opinion.
this person says he's a
an
rap.
opinion,
Say
though.
if someone says right now they're a rap head. They're like us, they're nerds of hip-hop. And they come and say, Black Thought was a whack rapper.
I know
Is that an opinion or is that just some...
that's their
looking at
opinion.
someone
That's
he's
their
hating?
opinion. Everyone
Yeah,
has an
but
opinion.
not all opinions
Hold the same-
can be credible, and not all opinions can be taken on board.
But
man.
how's that's not fair though, because just because the whole, let's just say 99 hip hop heads in a room agree that Black Thought is the greatest ever, and one says no.
Not the
Are they
greatest
then-
ever. I'm saying that he said
yeah,
he's
yeah,
whack.
but humor me for a bit. If 99 people in a room say no, Black Thought is the best, and one person in the room says, no, he's not the best, is he supposed to conform?
No, but saying he's not the best is not the issue. Saying he's whack is the issue.
Oh, what? Okay, fine. Trade whack for best. Whatever. Should he then conform? Should they then conform to
No,
the
I
idea?
never want anyone to conform. But if you're telling me Black Thought or Nas are whack, I'm just looking at you a certain way.
But it is their opinion, and they're allowed
Oh
to
yeah, yeah, of course. It's like an arsehole. Everyone's got one, but I'm not like.
Just wait
I'm
to
lo-
throw that away.
I'm looking at you like, who are you? Like, what's your walk of life? What do you like listening to? What are your hobbies? These are questions I'm asking. Because like there are certain opinions that are just wild to me. Of course, everyone's entitled to one, and I will never like tell someone, yo, you can't have an opinion. But nonetheless, though, man, like there are just certain opinions
but-
that I just can't allow myself to humor.
Yeah, but when you pry like that, when you go on to ask someone, who are you? What are your hobbies? Like, what do you eat at night? You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Wait, what?
It could be like, in a weird way, you hating on their opinion. Because you're trying to really understand why they would say something like that, which might be out of the norm when it's just their opinion.
Judging them for their opinion, not hating on them for
Yeah.
their opinion.
Or making them feel bad for it.
In my way, I'm questioning that. I'm not trying to make them feel bad. I'm just questioning why they feel the way they do. Because it's an opinion that I just will never be able to understand.
Well, I mean, I can give you an example of something. I was called a hater recently. I basically posted a picture of Drake hugging Meg Thee Stallion, and he had a really like Cheshire cat smile on his face.
I mean, I don't
and
blame him.
And my caption was like, "This is a visual representation of Drake holding on to a new artist's wave, ready to make it his own."
That's not hating.
And
That's harsh,
someone
man.
accused me.
That's
No,
harsh,
that's
though.
observation, though.
That's so harsh.
That's an observation.
It is an observation, and it's kind of true.
That's not even kind of fully true.
There you go. And then I got called a hater by some Drake fans saying, "Well, you know, Drake has contributed in this artist,
No, but then
streams going up, or you know, he's shown respect to these people. They actually rate the fact that they were with Drake. Blah 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 blah."
Yeah, but
that's not the point. The point is he has clutched on to this relevancy to remain relevant himself.
I think most of the predominant artists do. I don't want to sidetrack the conversation, but I think a lot of them have.
I don't think anybody.
So I don't necessarily think it's the worst thing in the
I
world.
think anyone does it as much as Drake. I don't think anyone does it anywhere near it. But that's the side. You're right. That's another conversation. I don't think it's close though with what he does.
Because Drake is making.
But then Drake's got stands, bro. They're always gonna call you hating.
Yeah,
he's
him, Wayne has stands like that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people do.
All of these fucking
Tupac fans, you can't say anything.
You can't say
to
shit. But then
Tupac
I
fans.
realized Tupac fans ain't always rap fans. Tupac fans are Tupac fans. If that makes any bit of sense.
For you.
Tupac fans, like you can't, like for example, I can't. Do you know how many conversations I had? Tupac wasn't an amazing lyricist, and they look at you like you're hating. I don't feel like it is. That's a very credible opinion. Me saying he wasn't an amazing lyricist, if we're being honest. But then that's when I realized they ain't fans of hip hop; they're fans of Tupac. But then I was getting sidetracked. What was I gonna say? It's a weird one, man. But I feel like we're all haters a little bit, ain't we?
Yeah, 100%.
Because I generally would tell you right now to your face, I think 99% of anybody that has raps that was born past 2003 is whack. And I feel no way about saying that.
Fully.
Every artist right now alive that was born past 02, 03, at least 90% of them are trash.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's hate when you haven't listened to them.
And I know I haven't.
But do you have any desire to?
No. But then I've also...
So are you allowed then to continue calling them?
But then
whack?
maybe... Do you need to listen to them, or can you already tell there's a difference in...
See,
time?
I can.
No,
see,
I think you could, because they can surprise you. Like someone
6
like
Nights
a
surprised me.
YBN Cordae is a dope rapper, and he's like of the new gen. He made the XXL freshman list, and he's like, he can bar. But he's, yeah. And I saw his freestyle on, I want to say Sway, or maybe LA Leakers. But he was dope, man. And he's like of that gen. He's like born post 2000, but he can actually bar. He studied the greats, and he's actually applying that into his own lyricism.
No, you're right. Because I remember you, but I used to hate like 6ix9ine's one. I used to cuss. I used to cuss him all the time till I started listening to his music once. And from there, you man know I used to rinse him out. Obviously, I don't listen to him now because he's a dickhead. But
And his album was whack.
I mean, it wasn't. But
It was.
let's not get into it. But that's someone I think I used to hate on until I listened to him. So maybe, I mean, you do have to give them a chance, and then they might change your mind.
But I've noticed though, man, a lot of the people that people say I hate on, I do it with good reason.
Why? Because they whack.
I can tell when someone's whack even before listening.
Don't do that.
How?
Don't do that. Don't be that.
No.
No, because he's gonna
No. How?
I just can, man.
Just by the face.
How?
The pigment.
Their presentation.
So when you saw Black Thought, you said this guy looks like the greatest.
No, but that's different though. That was an era where like
I don't think that's fair.
I was just listening. No, it's not fair. I never said it was fair one bit.
Oh, okay.
Mate, I know when I'm wrong.
Okay.
So,
But I think I judge rappers. I just judge, man. I think where like I've had so many instances where I have given so many rappers chances and I've been so disappointed. I've become jaded to the point where I don't even want to hear a lot of these new guys no more.
When did you reach that point?
Years ago, man. Years
yeah,
ago.
at least as long as
Was there a particular artist? Was there a particular time?
No, I can't remember.
You just woke up and they was like, "Fuck these niggas."
Yeah, I think with rap as a whole, though, I think I got to a point where it just stopped being as exciting as it once was. So I just didn't tune in as much. But I'm not that hip to all the new rappers. Because and especially nowadays where, you know, there's a style of rap that's very popular and that style of rap isn't necessarily what I like. So probably wrongly, but I automatically assume that whatever artist is dropping now may just latch onto the current sound. So unless one of you, man, be like, yo, P, you need to hear this person, I probably won't check them out. You know?
Yeah.
And where like hip hop ain't even the main genre that like I'm into these days. So that's another part of it as well.
You know what I mean?
So what does that mean?
man.
No,
For those that don't heard, I said it on the hip hop podcast.
Feel you. Yeah, I feel you. And I think like rappers especially, I think rappers have a lot to do with the idea of being a hater and just criticizing as well, because they will sometimes feed their fan base into thinking that someone's a hater when they're just trying to critique. Like,
Facts.
this is outside of hip hop, but there was this artist called Lizzo who released an album which is trash. It was basically like
Fuck, you know, I've never seen you go so hard.
Was she the plus size?
the plus
lady,
size
yeah.
black lady. And Pitchfork gave her like, I want to say they gave her like a 6.5, but they compared her to like Natasha Bedingfield and Megan Trainor.
Is it because she's plus size?
Nah, I don't necessarily think so. I think it's because she doesn't make that great music.
No, I'm saying, is it because she was plus size why they guessed it?
No.
Oh.
She basically saw that review. She tweeted and she said, people who never make music but only write about music should be unemployed. So you're attacking journalists for having an opinion.
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
People that never made music should not write about it.
No, people who write about music but
Sorry.
never made music should be unemployed.
Should be unemployed.
Should have no job.
And that's a perfect example of when like the terms hating and critiquing become interlinked.
But some people just
Because you can't even give like a negative critique without being called a hater. And that's where we're at these days.
Yeah. It's political correctness. And it's the whole idea of like being a sheep flocking to the herd of people who are only going to say nice things about someone. If I'm an artist, I don't want to hear strictly positive things all the time. How else am I going to grow?
Yeah, but some artists can't take a little bit of criticism. They can't. Do you know what I mean? They're very sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
No.
And it blinds their view of things, and it basically alienates a lot of people who otherwise might have liked you, but you've taken a certain stance and you felt a type of way because I said something that you didn't like.
But how many people even give honest critique now? The only person I've ever seen in life give honest critique to every person, say Charlamagne the God.
Yeah, but even him, I feel like as time has gone on, and we were having this conversation yesterday, I feel like he's
Conformed.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just
Because
talk
of his
about
political
let's just talk about the
connects.
reason why he is where he is now.
Because he
It's
started
because
off
he
just
was
very
started
brash,
off
very honest.
very honest critique.
Yeah.
He will tell a rapper to his face, yo, I don't like where you are now. And I don't fuck with you. Know what I mean? I don't think you're a great rapper, but God bless you.
Yeah.
But I feel like we definitely don't do that in the UK, by the way.
No way,
No.
because we don't want to mess up our political connects.
If
We don't wanna critique
No
anybody.
offense to this girl. I don't even know who she is. And she's already getting upset by a couple of people telling her, yeah, I was not as good as you think it is.
I mean, artists are sensitive. They are allowed to be sensitive.
No, they are, but then they need to understand there's a difference between someone just being a fucking person on you and someone just critiquing your music. If I say right now, like, yo,
And
don't-
giving you a decent
Yeah.
rating as well.
like, say for example what Yemi just said about Stormzy to start the show. That's not hate. That's not be fucking. That's just I liked your first album. I wasn't there for the first 2 singles of your new album. That's critique.
But I mean, artists are allowed to question and respond to these critiques of their music as well.
What if someone
they are allowed not to like it?
They are, but then what if the person that's critiquing your music has some substance behind what they're saying?
Yeah, because I think maybe they're starting to ignore the substance. I think I don't necessarily know if she read that article, but outside of the kind of demeaning comparisons, like it wasn't a bad review.
Because you think if everyone gassed her, she would have that opinion.
No, of course not.
That's my point. I feel like in the UK, especially, we have a problem with being afraid to critique. I know we're going in a bit of a, do you know what I mean?
That's cool.
But I feel like in the UK, we have a problem with being afraid to critique music. I don't know a single person right now I could rely on that.
No one wants to be ran up
No,
on.
you're 100%
you know what
correct
I mean?
because we
Like-
have a lot of conversations behind the scenes about
Yeah,
certain
like-
artists that, a lot of people won't, say on their platforms
Do you
that,
know how
this
people-
album was
do you-
whack.
How many people come to me and said, "Oh, you hate on AJ Tracy?" Because I said his album was whack.
Yeah.
And I still think it was trash.
I've spoken to a
Like-
few people that have said that, like, the last couple, the direction that gigs has gone in most recent years hasn't
Exactly,
been it.
'cause I don't like the
but
way-
nobody will actually say it on a
one will say-
platform
that's my point.
because
Like,
they will be seen as a hater.
that's my point, and I feel like we have a problem in the UK with that. We're not as honest as we should.
No one
be.
wants to be run up on at Creps and Cones.
Because the problem is UK small. I feel
Exactly.
like everyone's scared. You're right. It's exactly what you said. I feel like everyone's scared. But if I say right now, yo, I don't feel like this, but Skepta's album was decent to me, so I don't even feel. But if I say this right now, Skepta's album's trash, you can't tell me like
Yeah.
I can't have that opinion and not say.
Yeah,
like,
but,
cool, like-
but
I
what,
think it's called hating when you just say it's trash and you don't actually explain why it's
I get
trash.
that,
And
but
I think that's why you man get onto me as well. Because if I say if a rapper comes out and I'm like he's whack and I don't really give a reason,
You do that
that's why.
sometimes, though. Yeah, you
that's
do that
why I think,
sometimes, yeah.
and that's the difference between hating and critiquing. Then
I
Yeah,
think,
no, exactly.
yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
I think on the
You
flip
just gotta-
side, though, the more you talk about why you think it's trash, the more people are going to think, well, you're really a hater. Like, you're hating more and more.
no,
Yeah,
I
'cause
disagree
you
with that
gotta-
because
no, no.
remember when you man told me to listen to Little Beretti
No, that was
and I told you man why I didn't like it. You man didn't call me a hater. Usually you would have if I would have just been like, yo, he's shit.
no, that's
That's
because
because you listen to it.
That's because we're not that kind of guy. But what he's saying is a casual fan, if they hear you say, I feel like this guy's project was whack. Why do you think it was whack? This song was trash. This song. And if you say 6 out of 10 songs whack, they're going to say, yo, this guy's just a hater. Like they're not hearing why. They're just hearing, you're saying this is whack, this is whack, this is whack, this is whack. Then it goes from one thing to a list of 6. Is I think what Yemi was trying to say.
Yeah, and I think that, especially in this country, like, especially people who are in the scene, in the industry, who might necessarily have a platform where they do critique people. If I criticize Skepta and that goes back to him, and he then clocks where I work or whatever, and he's able to just shut off any kind of like opportunities I'm able to have later on down the line. Like, those are the things that goes in people's heads, and that's why they might not necessarily
I've got a question for you.
got that.
I don't mean to cut you off, man. I've
Go ahead.
genuinely got a question for you. As someone that's in the industry, why do you think we're so sensitive in the UK? I say us, I mean mainly
Because we don't want to
rappers.
offend our political connects.
But what about the rappers? Why are they so sensitive?
Artists are sensitive, man.
Artists
Like
are
they put
definitely
their all
Yeah,
in.
but
but
some,
they
some,
put-
some will hear something's whack, and I think still be like, let me find out why. I get what you're saying. They'll put they're all into it, but it's on level of sensitivity. I feel like in the UK, or maybe it's because I live here and I see it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with even being sensitive about your art. I do think there has to be a point where you have to accept all sides of it. Though.
That's my point. If you're blackballing someone because they think your album's whack and they wrote about your album being whack on the Telegraph, that's a joke.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And I feel like, yeah, but then that's something. Yeah, that's my opinion. In the UK, I feel like we don't like critiquing a bad album on the side that it comes out hating. You got a girl that no one even known of, and 2 people said that album's whack, and now she's tweeting, "You should be unemployed." Should have brought back to her calories. So.
I mean, she's
No,
got-
there's a few artists that do that. Leanne La Havas, she did the same shit. You know, OK Player, which is like a prominent hip hop website. I think they reviewed her album, and she went in. She went in.
Was it derogatory?
Because they just said it wasn't very good. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what they said. And they were like, you should never have a platform to do this. And I think actually Questlove, because he runs that website, I think he then took down the review. If I'm not mistaken, I think he took down a review because he has a
crazy.
relationship with her.
That's crazy.
And
to
then
me, man.
she got onto him and was like, yo, how are you letting this happen?
Because it's a
That's
critique of your app. Like,
Yeah.
I can't. I wish we get to
Some
the point-
artists just expect like platforms to have one uniform opinion. If they've written good about you before, they then can't deviate from that. If you put up a shit album, It's a shit album.
That's
I'm going to call you a shit album. I'm
that's
going to call a spade
Calm.
in an ideal world.
That's what I'm asked. That's what I want the UK to be like. I don't want us to be in a space where it's such a safe space where if Stormzy goes to this interview, it's only going to be like, oh, you done great here. Crept the corner and go to an interview, you done great here. They need, in my opinion anyway, I feel like there needs to be a dialogue of where, I don't know, I'm not really trying to pitch the podcast, honestly, but I feel like there needs to be a dialogue where rappers can come and be like, why did you take that avenue when you done that where it didn't sound as good as it did? Do you know what I mean? And I feel like we get that here, which is why I don't feel like UK has anywhere where, tell me the UK person you could go back to interviews and be like, I fuck with this guy's interviews and then we go watch it. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I don't feel like anyone in the UK has any substance behind their conversations. No disrespect to Chucky or any of them lot that do a podcast, but I don't feel like, no, not even honestly, because I feel like people might think we're taking shots because they've got a pod. Oh, that man don't know music. But like, I feel like they don't even have serious conversations when they sit people down. Not even being a dickhead, bruv. They don't.
No, I'm not going to let you say that. They do, man. They've had some people on that show that they've had some really
Fair
good
enough.
conversations.
I'm hating because I didn't even watch the podcast like that.
Proving the point of the whole discussion.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway, my point is, I feel like we blur the lines between hating and critique. I mean, we got to a certain point. I feel like we blur the lines between hating and critiquing. Especially in the UK, I don't feel like we do it.
Yeah,
we critique enough here.
I think we should be allowed to critique without being called haters.
Should we be allowed to hate?
Yes.
Yes. You can hate, but I just hope you have a reason for why you hate. Because you can't just, especially if you're like an intellectual person who has opinions, you can't then tell me, why do you hate something? Oh, I just do. No, that can't run.
Yeah.
That can't run. You need to be.
That was you a few times.
I know.
It needs to be a detailed. It needs to be detailed for why you're hating, because I'm just gonna look at you a certain way. You know what I mean? And we have conversations about why you don't necessarily like someone or why you do like someone. So whether that means you going out of your comfort zone and listening to the people that you might not necessarily want to, the ones that you hate on, it might be necessary to then have an opinion for why you hate that person. And that then becomes a critique. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So
hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, I think the lines are very blurred, but we should be allowed to critique, and artists should be more open with accepting it and taking it on board. Because at the end of the day, it's just the opinion of one person.
Yeah.
Like I said, to go back to the Black Thought analogy, if 99 people in the room like your album, but only one person doesn't, you're still winning.
I mean, it's just life, though.
But
We focus more on the negative
say
than
right
the
now,
positive.
I wouldn't if I'm an artist.
Say right now, if 10 people replied to your tweet and one said you're a fuckboy, which one's going to stand out to you?
I like that. I would like that comment.
No, but I'm saying that will stand out to you, right?
Of course it will stand out, but I'm not going to let that attack.
Just,
yeah, but I'm not going to let that affect me.
I feel you, but I think Peter hit the nail on the head. People that make music are very sensitive. Like, they're very sensitive.
And I get it. Like,
I get it to a certain extent. I get it where if somebody's just hating on you, period, I get it. But if someone's like honestly telling you like, yo, I like you, but I didn't like the avenue you took here and you can't take it, then you've got a problem, man.
Yeah, because the musicians have opinions as well, and they'll have an opinion on why they took a certain direction on an album as opposed to the last one. We want to hear those opinions, and I would like to think that you would want to hear ours.
I mean, here's hoping we get to the point in the UK where people can have that on this conversation.
Yeah, I would hope so too, man, because I'd love to come across an artist and like ask them why they did something.
I would love that because I see our rappers go on. People that don't I'm talking about, say, Westwood or Charlie Sloth or Stormzy or Graham Norton. I get why they go there, but it's like, I'm not getting the conversation that I want. Do you know what I mean? I'm genuinely, like, for example, you said you don't like Stormzy singing. I would love someone to just ask him, like, yo, why'd you sing on these songs? Why don't you just get someone? Like, why'd you feel the need to sing? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or like, why do you take the gospel route down on so many songs? Why do you have a choir in so many? Just anything like that.
If you could sit any artist down and ask them one question about something that they did that you didn't like, what would it be?
That's a tough one, man. I can't say that on the spot.
I would ask Nas why he picks whack beats.
Why he pick what?
Whack beats.
You've been thinking about that for time, innit? Any rapper?
Yeah.
That's a very general question, though. Like, yo, why you pick whack beats?
No, but
but I wouldn't. Do you know what, though? Amongst us, I would say it like that. But to him, I'd be a lot more respectful. I'd be like, so why do you pick the production that you do?
That sounds so much polite.
That's how I would ask it, though. Because we're men at the end of the day. And we still want to be respectful. I don't want to disrespect you, but I still want to, put across that, yo, I wasn't really feeling that. Like, why did you go for that rather than that?
I might ask him why did he let his security guard beat him in the Uchi one. God.
I'd probably ask AJ Tracy. why he felt like he didn't need to rap too tough on this album. Because I feel like he had taken a back seat on the rapping.
That's my point, though. Man.
More towards like the melodic stuff as well when he made his name off just barring.
Yeah.
We need this, this podcast needs to bank so we can sit down and rap. So I'm not even trying to hide it. I'm genuinely not even trying to hide it, bro. I love these conversations in person.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Maybe we'll have a Birdman moment.
Boy.
What, come outside?
Or a Beanie Siegel moment with Charlemagne.
I doubt it, man.
London's
Come
small.
outside.
London's small.
Come off the bus. Come off the bus.
Yeah, London's small, man. No.
True.
Anybody can get got. Who if you're a rapper or not?
Trust.
100%.
A rapper can wild out. That's all right then. You live down the road, me. I'll see you when I get off from work.
I don't know. You live near Meridian as well, don't you?
I live about 10 minutes away from Meridian.
I see. Yeah, they can find you.
I can find them. Let me try to act like I'm a bad boy. What?
Wedding that one out.
All right, big man.
No, like I'll die about mine. What does T.I. say? I'll die about mine. I don't know why I would ask a rapper. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel you.
Off the top of my head, I'll ask Jaro why did he go out like that?
You have no choice.
Why did I'll
Why did the clapback take so long?
No, I'll ask him like, why did you clap back?
I think he responded to that though.
Oh,
I think
I didn't even
he had the feds like investigating the
No,
label.
Yeah,
not that. I would ask him why did you clap back?
Oh,
Why? Like it, just say no. I don't.
He wasn't about to go out like that.
No, but he should have. Why is Jay-Z where Jay-Z is?
Jay-Z went at everyone.
Jay-Z.
Bro, Jay-Z responded to everyone.
But the
man.
way he responded, Jay-Z gave 50 a line. A line. I'm about $1. Fuck, it's a 50 cent.
It's different though, man.
Nah, man. I just think if the avenue Ja Rule was in, if you just played that route, and
You couldn't ignore 50 though. He couldn't ignore it.
No
Man.
way.
50 bro,
I
do you
feel
know
you.
do you know the powers that 50 had
no,
behind him?
but I feel you. But say if he did, then what?
He would have lost. Ja Rule would have lost credibility, even more credibility.
Can you lose more credibility than
Yes.
what he is now?
Yes,
Bro, he
somebody that has
this
all
guy
this,
ended a record label, fam.
bro, someone that has all this muscle behind him coming through. He's making noise.
Okay, cool.
He hasn't dropped a hit yet, but he's attacking you. He drops a monster hit. He's still attacking
You're telling me
and you
right-
don't respond
you
to him.
honestly think he would have lost credibility more than what he is now?
Yes.
Yeah,
If he didn't
probably.
respond to 50,
Maybe
yes.
just a little bit more. Maybe just a little bit.
I think he would have stayed more afloat.
Nah, man.
If he continued making always on time, put it on me, all of that shit.
I think his time was up
Yeah,
regardless.
but, yeah, exactly.
His time was
Because he
up
could have
regardless.
still done that after the fact.
No. You're done. You're done at that
Nah,
point.
his time out would have. His
He
time
could have
out
still
would have
done it
been-
after
His
the
time
fact.
would have been up regardless.
Aight, fair enough.
Because 50 Cent had taken over. There was no way he was gonna let. He didn't like Ja Rule, so there was no way he was gonna let Ja Rule.
that was personal.
Plus, that was real life beef. Someone
Yeah.
got stabbed and shit. But that would have been my question anyway. Why did you respond? Maybe if you didn't respond, continue putting always on time and shit. Could have had at least another year long.
Yeah, bangers though, man.
What? Ja Rule arguably had a better career than 50 in terms of music.
Yeah, he's got more hits.
Yeah,
than 50.
he definitely. Whose career would you rather have had? Not the way they went out. Saying hits wise.
Ja
I would
Rule
have
had
had Ja.
hits.
Ja still got summer singles. We heard Ja on Friday night. Did we hear 50? Do you know what I mean?
50's got in the club though, which is probably
Okay, Ja
stupid.
Rule's got always on time.
Fine.
Put it on me. Wonderful. Shut up.
I mean, I'm gonna say in the club over everything. So
I'm not taking it in the club over always on time.
No, I'm
As a
taking-
summer
Yeah,
song.
I'm taking 50 Cent's career.
I'll
Diamond
take it.
selling album, 10 million records.
I'm taking no.
Gucci.
That's one album though. If we're talking the whole career, I'm taking Ja's, man.
I think
I swear.
that one album eclipses Ja Rule's career.
It's tough, man.
But it's not as clear.
Because 50 dropped arguably the best gangster rap album ever. And it went how many times platinum?
10.
But
And then he and then
times platinum.
It went
and then,
diamond.
and then he dropped how many artists that also went platinum or went gold? Lloyd Banks, Young Buck,
Game.
Tony Yayo went gold for
Be
fuck's
honest
sake.
with you, yeah.
Game,
I only care about one of them.
Olivia.
you know what I'm saying? Whereas Ja Rule didn't really do
Olivia,
that.
she's still alive.
Ja Rule helped with Ashanti, but it wasn't the same.
I'm taking 50.
Lloyd-
It's a tough one
Lloyd?
though.
Don't sleep on Lloyd.
Lloyd never like bust through like that. Though.
Lloyd bust through more than half of the people you just named from.
No, that's not true.
Lloyd bust more than Yayo, Banks, Olivia.
But they had a longer
Then Lloyd.
longer careers.
Then
than
Lloyd.
him, though. Yes. Where's
Name
Lloyd now?
3 Banks songs. I mean, 3 Yayo
No, you
songs.
can't ask me that. I'm a big Lloyd Banks fan.
No, Yayo. That's why I took Banks back. Yayo.
So Seductive.
There's no way you had a longer career. Lloyd
I
or
can't remember.
all of these names. Lloyd,
Probably Lloyd.
come
Probably Lloyd.
What? I said lay it down. Now stop it. Lloyd had bangers, fam.
All of this tells me that I would still rather have 50's career than Ja's.
I mean, I'd rather have Jars, but I don't think I get why you say 50. Jar had a career, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can go either way with it, man.
Jar had a cameo in Too Fast and Furious. Monica.
Hey man, 50 never ran a festival that never happened. That's what I'm
You're
saying.
around taking 50s. And
Thank
50
you very
got
much.
power.
And on that note, let's move on to the next topic.
That's a
man.
great topic, bro.
So yeah, the next topic we had in mind was a bit similar to the hating versus criticism. It's we're gonna kind of pit one thing against another thing. So we're going to pit work ethic against oversaturation. Now, what I mean by that is, if you're a rapper and you drop, let's say, 2 to 3 projects in a year, in a calendar year, is that because you have a great work ethic? Or is that a common sign that you are oversaturating yourself and you're oversaturating the market, and maybe even your quality declining as a result?
If you drop how many?
Well, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, if you drop multiple projects in a year, basically.
Cool.
I think it's a mixture of all of that. I think Sean would have been great to talk on this because I feel like streams are in there as
Sean.
well. Yeah, shout out
Shout out Sean. That
I
would've
feel
been-
like
that's very good.
yeah,
She'll
man. I
love
feel like
that
a lot. I feel like a lot of it's to do with streams as well. Because like Chris Brown's a perfect example. He's dropping albums with like 30 songs on there, but there's a reason behind it. I don't think he's doing it because he has all this great music. I think it's to do with the streams.
Well, I was thinking more before the streaming era anyway, but I feel you.
I feel like
But-
there's a difference between the. Do you think it depends on the music?
As in, like, the quality of it? Or,
Yeah.
I think if you're dropping back-to-back, like, quality albums in a year, then maybe it doesn't matter as much. But if you're someone like a Lil Wayne, where you're just dropping a mixtape, an album, maybe like an EP, but you're kind of only rapping about the same things over and over, it's not necessarily connecting, then that's maybe saturating. We can all agree that Lil Wayne saturated the market. And he's probably one of the main reasons why people feel like it's okay to drop multiple projects in a year now.
I think more than one album a year for me personally is too much. Like I
Do
don't
people
want
do
that.
though.
Huh?
Do people do that today?
Future did it like a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
He
but
dropped
no Future definitely oversaturated.
Yeah, he
the
did
market.
2 in it. He had the Hendrix one and
Future and Hendrix.
yeah, me personally, I'm not trying to get 2 projects from an artist
no
in
way.
1 year. Rock Marciano did it last year. I think he did. I think he dropped 2 or 3, and I was cool with that just because of the quality was there. But in the normal case, I'm not really trying to have that.
DMX did it as well. His first 2 albums,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But there were two.
But they were
They went.
qualities.
They sold as well.
One is a classic and one is a solid album.
Yeah. But yeah, there's too much danger in oversaturation, man. I'm not trying to have like too many.
It very much depends on the kind of rapper you
That's
are.
what I was gonna say because it works for some people. Like
If you're a commercial rapper, it don't work. I don't think so. Like someone like a Ray Shremmerd, and I haven't even listened to a Ray Shremmerd album ever, but dropping essentially 3 albums, like solo Sway Lee, a solo
wait,
Slim
they dropped
Jimmy.
3 albums.
Like last year, they dropped a solo. Basically, they dropped a whole album,
Yeah.
but it was made of 3
I had no idea.
albums. So there was a solo Sway Lee, solo Slim Jimmy, and then the Ray Shremmerd. That is a lot.
That's overkill.
That is overkill, which is what I would say about Chris Brown as well. It is overkill, and I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary, and I didn't necessarily hear that great things about it. Like Sway Lee's, he had a couple of tunes, but other than that, like I didn't really hear much about it. And cool, it's an experiment. You're obviously trying to keep all of your solo albums under the Ray Shremmerd banner, but there is such a thing as quality over quantity, and when your quantity is too much, like the quality is bound to suffer.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it, quality over quantity all the time. But I feel like in this case, I think it is showing good work ethic, but it is also oversaturation. I think it's the two.
I think it's only good work ethic if the music is good.
That's all it comes down to for me. Because there's some rappers that you could say, are we talking? Because for example, if a rapper drops a mixtape every year,
And an album.
no, just a mixtape every year, is that oversaturation or is that just hard work?
No, that's every year. That's fine. One project a year is cool for me, unless
You
like
don't
you're
think that's too much though?
no, unless you're doing something like a Kendrick where he did Damn and then he did the film soundtrack.
Yeah,
I can do that because it's not all him.
But I'm saying if it was just that one artist every year,
So like what someone like Nas dropping an album every year.
yeah,
that's cool.
I think depends.
But every other year.
I think it depends to me on the artist. I could do with, and it depends on where you are at that point in your
And it
career.
depends on the project that you've dropped before the next one
I feel you if
as
it's
well.
working, then-
Because if it's a heavy album where like the content is crazy, the production.
if it's like a good Kid, Mad City,
yeah. Or I was gonna say To Pimp a Butterfly.
yeah,
Then I
okay,
can wait a couple years for the next
That's
one.
my point. But I also feel like sorry, what did you
Projects like that probably take a lot more time anyway.
Mm.
Like Kendrick had a 3-year gap between Good Kid and To Pimp a Butterfly, and I mean, you can
Good
tell.
Kid was so good that we could wait.
Yeah, so that could arguably be good work ethic because of how good the projects were. I don't necessarily think that having a good work ethic is equivalent to good music.
I
Because
agree.
You could drop every year or twice in a year. But if the music doesn't add up, then what are you really doing it for?
I think some people just honestly release music every year. Just it depends on what point in their career. Like say for example, a Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle dropped a mixtape at least every year, if not every 10, 12 months. Do you remember at one point? And I think he dropped 3 in 1 year at one point. I think it was like recently, not even that long ago, like maybe 3-4 years ago. He dropped 3 mixtapes in 1 year, and he was doing that to the point where he got on. Then he got on and he kind of chilled back. Then he gave us victory lap, and obviously we know what happened. But like, what I'm saying is, I feel like some rappers will drop every year until the point where they're like, you can't deny me anymore.
Okay.
So
So
I
it's
feel
like when they're grinding. to
yeah, I
get
feel like that's
somewhere.
how I look at. That's what I look at the difference between hard work and oversaturation in the market. If you're dropping a mixtape every year to the point where it's like, you can't deny me anymore. Like, I've given you this, and you can't tell me you didn't work for Nipsey. Nipsey forced his way in through quote unquote oversaturated market, but I feel like I don't look at it that way. I look at it as if it was hard work.
Yeah, but you don't see it as oversaturation because the music was good.
That's my
too,
point.
to
Whereas,
Yemi's point.
yeah, whereas say someone like The Game, wasn't The Game dropping an album every year and a half at one point?
Jay-Z's a
Yeah.
perfect example. From 96 to Blueprint, I think he dropped an album every year.
He drops up until every
Was it-
year.
was it
He
Black-
drops
was it
Black
Black-
album.
was it
Up
Black
until-
album?
Up until Black
Black
album.
Yeah.
album, he was going on a stupid
Every
run,
year.
yeah.
And I could take that. I could take
All
that.
of them?
Yeah.
But you love the music, right?
For the most part. Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
And you always look forward to it.
I couldn't do with the games though. The game was dropping it every a mixtape or an album and the music, and that's the problem we also got. I think it's what you said, PR. The game was dropping recently. I remember album, mixtape, but then it's like you had an album, a mixtape, and an album back to back to back that were all kind of trash. And then that goes back to the conversation where it said, how many projects do you give someone before you check out?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Do you
because
know
if the mixtapes are bad, are you going to want to listen to the album?
That's my point, because then I've listened to 3 projects that you've dropped in 4 years, and all 3 are bad. So it's like, all right,
I mean, it goes for the same as well. Like, if you drop a good album, you're probably going to want to hear what happens next, which is either an album or a mixtape.
but if you drop one bad album and then you wait 2 years, kind of got more time on your side.
Yeah.
If you drop one bad album, another bad mixtape, another bad album in the space of 2 years, and they're all bad, you haven't even chilled out. Like, it's good to kind of take a breather and be like, let's say for example, Cole dropped For Your Eyes Only. I wasn't a fan of the album. If he come back and drop something else that was trash in quick instant, I would have been like, all right, it's too much now.
Yeah.
But he took his time, dropped KOD, and I don't think KOD was right. He took 2 years. Dropped KOD.
I think because of the climate of the music industry, I can actually wait for artists, man. I don't eagerly anticipate anyone anymore because there's just so much music, man. So I'm already still playing catch up on the other stuff. So like I'm not even looking forward to the projects from my favorite artists because I've got so much occupying me. So it's always going to be quality over quantity, but I'm patient, man. I can wait. Drop it whenever it's time to drop it, but I'm not trying to have every artist drop something every year
anybody
because I
you wait
won't
for
listen
now?
to it. I still ain't got to Skepta's album yet. Bro, I still ain't had a chance to listen to it. There's so many albums I still haven't had a chance to listen to
Is
because
there
there's just so
anybody-
much music.
Is there anybody you waiting for?
No, I can wait for everyone. I can honestly wait for everyone, man.
Feel you. I mean, someone like Future, for example, like dropped 2 albums in a year. They were both #1 albums. I think like the second one eclipsed the first one as far as like number one, which I think was the first artist to ever do that, and that's great. It always looks good on paper. We're not talking about that album anymore. We're not talking about the albums anymore. Were they really that good? That's what I'm thinking. I think it was off the heat of Mask Off, that single. Obviously, that was a big hit. I don't necessarily think he needed to do 2 albums in a year, and that's off the back of him having dropped albums like pretty much every year. Anyway, up until that point, I think Young Thug might be the same, where he was just dropping, and nothing's really stuck with him. So it's like Young Thug, especially, that he could have been like the next big thing, but
Oversaturated.
the quality just didn't add up, and that might have something to do with the fact that he oversaturated himself. At least Wayne, he could rap, so anything he did, we kind of looked forward to, even if after Carter 3, he was not really there anymore. He was kind of on the decline, but we still looked forward to shit from him.
Yeah.
Gucci oversaturated. Remember Gucci? Gucci man used to drop a mixtape like every 5 months.
That's
Gucci,
true.
literally every 5 months, Gucci will drop a mixtape.
Can you imagine? And then there's people like Q-Tip that wait like 10 years before
But then,
releases.
do you know why? You get it.
Yeah, the quality is
Yeah,
going to be
it's
there,
quality,
innit?
they're like-
And he's a perfectionist.
And I get it though. Like someone like Kendrick will take 3 years on the album or 2 years on the album, whereas
Yeah.
And some artists just, sorry to cut you off, some artists just want their music out there, no matter what, which is a good and a bad thing.
I'd rather wait them.
But
I'd rather them wait.
you can tell the kind of artist though, innit? An artist always take their time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A Kendrick, a Q-Tip.
So what about the artists that take their time and the music's not great?
Like, don't say Cole because we're gonna fight.
Perfect example.
No, because don't say Cole. Give me another name, because Cole doesn't mean white.
Give me another name, big man.
We're not. J.
Kanye West.
He's a weirdo.
What does that mean?
As in, he's an artist, but he's also, I don't know, man. He's just,
Because I feel like he takes his time between releases and he's
but he
giving us...
likes. I think he gets a thrill off. Oh, this is so much different. To the point where it's just weird. Do you know what? Does that make any sense?
What do you mean, like, as far as how each album sounds?
Yeah, like he likes being a creative to the point where he wants. I think he always looks at himself like, I have to surprise the audience. So maybe, but does he take his time now with albums?
Yeah, I think so.
He's taking his time with Yandy, I think. Anyway.
What was the gap between Ye and Kids See Ghosts?
Yeah, but that year he was just like...
That was like...
He was on a madness.
That's my point, but then you could see it, right?
That was a week.
But my point is you could see
you
that.
could tell, yeah.
You could tell.
All that whole week was just rushed anyway.
That's my point. But
Except for Daytona.
Daytona was the only good one.
And Tiana Taylor's album.
I feel
Which he was still working on the plane the day it was meant to drop.
That's my point. He fucked up. I'm not even a mad Tiana Taylor, but anyway. But that's my only point. You can see when he rushes stuff.
So do you, man, feel like double albums are oversaturation as well then?
Only if they're bad.
One of my favorite albums of that album.
What's that?
Fox.
Okay.
And like I said to you guys on this podcast, I could do without the second disc.
On Drake's.
No, Tupac. Personally.
I feel like today's double disc albums don't work. Whether it's Chris Brown, Drake, they don't work. We don't have...
What was the last double disc?
Drake done double disc on...
Oh, Scorpion, right? Yeah.
And I feel like that's because today's generation don't have the mental capacity to take in a double album.
They don't have the attention span for that.
That's my point. They don't have the mental capacity to take in a double album. A double album, today's album, is never going to work.
I don't even know if I've
Unless
got
you're a
the
big
attention
artist
span to do it anymore.
But then there's...
But Drake doesn't get a pass just because he's Drake.
Drake's a good question of oversaturation. Did he oversaturate the market?
Well...
No, I think
No,
I think he's done it right, man. Because everything that he's done has been a banger.
Yeah.
Does that mean
he's done it right? Yeah, he's done it right, man.
I think he's...
You can still oversaturate, but it's
This
not...
guy's got
You won't
fucking-
see it like
this
that
guy's
because
got
the quality is
something
still there.
Spanish, bro.
That's definitely oversaturation.
He can't speak Spanish, bro.
Definitely can't.
What do you call that?
My problem. That's...
Spanish people's problem.
Hey. That's
Bailando,
That's
fam.
Bad Bunny's problem, bro.
But like, do you know what I mean? He's taken over every single market and fucked it up. Whether it's UK, Spain, America.
But in a way that he's always given us hits and he's always given us quality in that respect.
So it's the music.
So we won't ever
it's the
see it
music.
like it's oversaturation.
So it's the music.
100%.
Then in that case, Lil Wayne wasn't bad.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Lil Wayne's oversaturation wasn't. Lil Wayne's like 07 to 2013 wasn't bad, was it?
But that
Nah,
wasn't
Lil
his-
Wayne's one was good.
Yeah.
But then it became bad.
Who had a... But that's commercial as well. Can anyone have a bad...
I'm talking about, I don't care about the commercial stuff. More the quality of the actual like, album cuts.
Oh, yeah,
They weren't great.
No. After Carter 3, it was...
Yeah.
Carter 4 was... I don't listen to Lil Wayne anymore.
Yeah. That's because the oversaturation got to a point where it was getting too much towards the bad side.
Yeah.
If he was still making good albums, we probably wouldn't even be talking about it. In the same way that Drake has just given us hit after hit after hit, not necessarily complaining about the saturation, because he's shown that he's good at it.
But we're getting to the point where we're complaining about the albums. We've complained about albums amongst all three of us.
Yeah, true. But he's the type of artist that doesn't necessarily need albums.
Yeah, I personally look at Drake for singles rather than albums. I don't like Drake's albums, but that's just...
A lot of people don't, to be fair.
I think Drake makes whack albums.
His last good album was Nothing Was the Same. That was 6 years ago.
I feel like it was Take Care.
Oh, well, even later.
Yeah.
UK-wise, do you guys want to get to a point where there's an oversaturation within our scene?
Only person I can see oversaturating the market if he really wanted to be Huss. He's the only one with the capability of jumping on this person's
Is
song,
he
this
signed?
person's song, this person's song.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, we all know that.
Signed to Black Butter Records.
Who?
Black Butter.
Are they subsidiary of anyone?
They are a subsidiary of, I want to say Universal or Sony, one of them.
Okay. But do you know what I mean when I say I can see Huss?
But he's very selective of what he does. Anyway.
Yeah. But I feel like he's the only one I could see oversaturating the market, jumping on anybody's kind of song.
Yeah.
Could we say the closest person here to oversaturate might be Skepta?
I'll say right
no,
now.
because he's
Nah.
taking
As far
his
as
time.
like jumping on bare features and
Right now.
just being like a presence.
I think he only does-
can a presence be seen as oversaturation?
No, I don't think so.
Because I think he only does that when he's in album mode.
You don't see him.
So we've seen him recently in the last few months because he's been gearing up for a release. I think in the interim between Konnichiwa and Ignorance is Bliss, he was around. He had dropped an EP in between that time, and he was about, but there was a very distinct time when he had taken time out, and we didn't really hear from him. And then he came back, and then he was on Slow Tie, and he was on Lancey Foe, and he's collaborating with Heady One now, all that stuff. So I think that's in context of him having work out there also.
So who would you say if you could see anyone oversaturating UK?
I would say Huss as well.
Huss or Dave?
I can't see Dave.
Dave's jumped on a few people's songs.
But because of the type of rapper that he is, I can't see him oversaturating though, man.
Yeah, for me. I
I feel like the more skilled
Huss is
rappers don't really do that. The more like ones that can just throw verses here, throw
you feel
verses
like,
there.
You feel like an AJ Tracy.
I'm not too privy to his stuff, so I can't.
AJ.
Verses here, verses there.
But is he good?
Yeah, it's good.
To me,
Good MC.
I think
He's a
he's
good MC.
he's alright.
He's a good MC. I'm thinking more maybe
he's
like
not whack by any means.
I'm thinking more maybe like the Young Banes, the Kojo Funds.
Young Bay's actually a good show.
The people that are able to drop a verse, drop a hook, drop a background vocal or something like that. Those sort people in that department, basically.
Right.
Isn't that what Thing's doing now as well? What's the little fat kid called?
Oh, do you know?
That's what he's doing. He's on.
He's on a lot.
He's on a lot of songs.
I don't think he's dropped a project yet.
No, he hasn't. But he's on majority of radio songs I hear.
Very true.
So he's one that's right now that's the go-to guy for every. I think
for hooks.
Yeah, for hooks. Because I feel like you said, I think Huss is very picky. So because Huss is picky, and Dino will do it. I feel like Dino's the one that is right now in everyone's face.
Yeah, man. 100%.
Because Huss, I think, is very
selective, and as he should be.
Really. He should be, bruv. He's
the one.
He's the one right now. He's Neo. I don't even think I'm exaggerating when I say that. I don't mean the UK, by the way. I mean everywhere.
No. Huss is the one.
He's Neo right now in music.
I feel uncomfortable you saying that.
Hey, man, it's never too late to jump on the board.
Audience, he never liked Huss to begin with.
That's not true.
No, you didn't like Huss to begin with.
Don't say I didn't like
You used to look at me and Yummy.
Like we were mad.
No, I just thought maybe that people were overrating him, but I get it now.
Shout out to Huss, bro. That guy.
So my sincere apologies to Mr. J. Huss.
Shout out to Muhammadu Jallo, fam.
Apologize to his family.
Your concert gave me life as well, fam.
That's shout out that girl. But yeah, I mean, as far as UK goes, I think because everyone's still kind of new, maybe the time for oversaturation isn't necessarily here yet because everyone's still trying to establish themselves in their own way, and everyone's friends, so they're all going to collab with each other. So there isn't as much of a problem of oversaturation. I think generally, we'll edit this out. I think generally, maybe like saturation is like a thing, and I think especially in the US, if you're gonna drop like expansive albums, or if you're gonna drop albums very close within each other, maybe like a year or even a couple months apart, like it's quite clearly like a money grab, and that's fine. But that also comes with saturating the market and basically letting yourself loose without any real plan. Like you're just trying to have music out there just to have music out there rather than really making the music that we know you're capable of. So with that in mind, like, while it's okay, and we do need artists that are commercial who are able to do that on a whim, just drop a verse, drop an album at any time and, you know, heat up a summer or heat up any time of the year, the quality at some point will diminish.
So how do you measure good work ethic then?
By having good albums, by having good songs.
Is that good work ethic though?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
I don't know. Work ethic, just like I feel like it talks to how much you do of something.
Well, I
know there's a consistency undertone to that as well, but I still look at it as how much you do and how often you do something. So I don't know if, I mean, it's hard not to, but like, I guess having 3 years where you've dropped an album every year and all those albums are really good, could you count that as good work ethic?
Yeah. Okay. I think so. 100%. And again, this is not to say that you don't necessarily have good work ethic if you're dropping just bad album. Obviously, the definition of that is how much you are doing something. But if we're talking about music, I think the quality of it has to be considered a little bit more. I think it takes on a little bit more of a meaning because that's how we're gonna like rate you. That's how we're gonna rate you as a musician, as an artist. Like, yeah, you work hard, but you have nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
Hey, you work hard and you have a lot to show for it. You've got great albums. So the people who do have great albums but have good work ethic are obviously going to be seen in another light to those who aren't.
Right.
And yeah, again, like hating and criticism, good work ethic and saturation can be interlinked. But when work ethic becomes saturation, it's kind of like a downward spiral in that sense, because even if you are making good music, it might not necessarily last that long. So
Yeah. Facts.
that's just how I feel.
I feel you. I mean, I agree. I agree.
Cool. So we agree. There's not really much distinction. It's all very muddled.
Yeah.
Depends on it always comes down to the music.
It's all interlinked.
Another thing anything changed. It always comes down to the music.
For you.
Shout out to that little kid in London as well.
Who?
The one that's oversaturating the UK market, a little fat kid.
What do you know?
Yeah, man, shout out to him, man.
Boy. We're keeping that one in.
What?
The little fat kid.
That's what he is, man. Like, let's not act like we don't see it, man. Yeah, struggling to breathe, fam.
I don't know who he is.
Bro, he's basically the boy version of what's that fat girl that cussed everyone for her album dropping?
Lizzo.
Oh, Lizzo.
He's like a
No
boy version
way.
of her, fam.
Oh, you mean like physically?
Yeah, fam. The little, yeah, but he seems alright still.
Okay.
Fair
He
enough.
needs to sort out his weight because he's young, fam. This guy rotund.
Rotund.
Yeah, I need to sort it out, cuz.
He's like a boulder.
You know what I
rolling
mean,
down the
bro?
hill.
You know, he needs to chill out just a little, like,
Yeah,
for his
health,
own-
health
yeah,
as well,
man,
fam.
like, yo,
Health as well.
don't get me wrong, I'm not in the best shape, but like, you weigh more than me and I'm 6'3", fam.
And younger than you too.
You know what I mean, brother? And he's like 5'2". Come on, man.
Well, hopefully he listens to this and takes on board your
Hopefully,
advice.
no, in the nicest way possible. Now to that female that said everyone should be unemployed.
She's got a great personality, though. I listened to her.
Yeah, she does.
I listened to her interview on the Breakfast
I don't
Club,
like-
and I really enjoyed
Which
it.
is what made it even more
What
like,
Breakfast Club?
shocking.
She was on Breakfast Club.
What's her name?
Lizzo.
And she's American.
Yes.
I bun her, but
Which was why it was so shocking that she said that. Because
Why bun
she's
her?
clearly a
I
great
thought she was
girl.
from the UK, and so I didn't want to go hard because she might have made a mistake. She's
She
from
might,
America as well.
she might see you.
No, because she might have made a mistake. Like, but I'm just saying, for you to be that arrogant,
Yeah,
chill,
yeah.
man. What's her name? Lizzo.
Yes.
Let me see her family. All this can wait, bruv.
Anyway.
Stop it, bruv. Stop
Next
it, bruv.
topic.
Next
This
topic,
is her.
please.
Nah, you're playing. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but it was even mad. Because,
Look at her,
like,
fam. Look at her. You better sit with your back straight, fam.
Oh
If
my
you crouch just a little bit, fam, your tank top will pop, fam.
Good grief.
Absolute nutter. fam.
Moving
How dare
swiftly
you say
on to the final topic
Unemployed,
of
fam.
today's episode.
You know what that is? That's JSA, you know.
Yeah.
Man, not, yo, P. That's JSA.
Bro, don't call my name, man.
That's
Don't call
job
my
center.
name,
8:30.
man.
You know when you go to work, you see people lined up outside job center.
Yes.
That's what she's saying. We should be.
That used to be me in the past life.
No, I'm just calm.
Yeah.
But that's not you now. But like my point is, if it was up to her, that'll be us now, right? Because we talk about music, but we've never made music.
Yeah.
So in her mind, we should be unemployed.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see if you see 40 with your fat self, bro.
And on that note, let's move on to the final
Don't
topic.
edit that out.
Boy. Let's move on to the final topic, guys.
Caught
So-
feelings. Sorry, guys.
You definitely have.
I
100%.
P, I apologize.
Don't call my name. Don't
I
call
know.
my name.
I genuinely,
bro.
I don't know if this could get you in trouble, but I apologize.
Nah, that's not going to
But I'm just saying,
Oh, no,
fam,
no.
like, she needs to maintain, fam. Because if she drops her water bottle, she can't pick it up.
Again, like, it's passion. It's passion. It's a passionate thing to say, but you're
It's
wrong.
just shitting on people.
But she's wrong.
Yeah, but she can't drop her water bottle and pick it up.
I mean, she
She
might
has
be
to
able
sit down in stages, fam.
Oh, my
Come on, bro.
goodness.
Like, don't annoy me today, please.
Oh, my
Don't,
goodness.
you know what she does when she sits down?
That's
Put a
what-
pelly in front of. She puts a pillow. Like you got all this pillow. Then she puts it in front of her stomach when she's at a house party, fam.
Good grief.
Idiot, fam. Takes her pictures with her hand around her waist. But anyway, let's continue.
We're
with the
verging on
podcast.
bullying here.
Let's continue with the podcast. Unemployed my ass, fam.
All right. So I kind of wanted to get into something a little bit funny. And you know, yeah, I kind of wanted to get into something a bit funny to end the show. And I've basically been on Twitter a lot the last few months, and there has been an ongoing narrative, not even on Twitter, but people that I talk to and associate with, that a certain artist from London called Loyle Carner is
Shout out to Loyle Carner.
A certain artist.
a certain artist is boring. That he makes boring music. That he has the same monotonous voice. That he kind of goes on the same production that isn't that inspiring, and he sends people to sleep. So
Sounds like another rapper that I know.
for real, to be honest, he's been called the British version of that rapper.
Hey, and I'm not going to say that rapper's name because Mo's probably going to swing for me.
Is he legit UK version of Cole?
Well, that's what people call
I haven't
him.
really listened to him like that, so I will.
Well, I'm in terms of bars, probably not. But he is a dope rapper.
He's a very good rapper.
He's a very good
I think
rapper.
I like him.
You might.
I mean,
He's a very good rapper.
I'll listen to him tonight actually when I'm Ubering it home.
He's a good rapper. He's a good rapper.
I understand the criticism. I do think it can be unfair sometimes, but I do completely get it. He is a bit repetitive, just as far as the sound, his flows, his wordplay. It is very samey in it, so I get why people do call him boring. I tried to listen to him as well. I listened to, I think, the EP. I think when we saw him in Croatia, I listened to A Little Too Late or A Little Late, I think the name of the EP was.
A little late.
Yeah, and
Were day ones, Loyle? Were day ones?
and that was really good. And then when the album came, I don't know, man, it just felt a bit cheesy.
Well, let me tell you what the problem was with the album. I think with the album, he had released about 5 or 6 singles before it dropped. He put all of them on the album, so he only really had 5 to 6 new songs and skits, and they weren't really that great. He had basically released all of his best music before the album came out, which was never a good sign. And it was just kind of middle of the road. It was kind of like not depressing music, but he only raps about certain things. Like he doesn't really have a great relationship with his biological dad. His stepdad passed away. He's the man of his house. He's got a younger brother. He loves his mum to bits. He really loves his mum to bits.
He found a cheat code with that too.
How so?
Getting his mum on every tune so that we like him.
Oh, mate.
Any artist that has
do you
their
mean?
mum
What
around
do you mean
all the
he got-
time,
what
we're
do you
not gonna like. We're not gonna not like him, are they?
What do you mean he got his mum on every single tune?
Basically, he's very close to his mum, and his mum appears on all of his albums. She comes on stage with him whenever he's on stage quite a lot. She's just in his life a lot, like very prominent.
What do you mean every single tune?
Not every single tune, but basically on each album, she'll have like a skit to herself where she's like maybe reading poetry, or you can just hear her voice. Which, you know, in the beginning was sweet because obviously
That's overkill, man.
he's got a great relationship with his mum, but after a while it verges on corny. And
So-
I think that, let's call a spade, Loyle Carner is a little bit corny. And I mean this with the most respect because I think he's a very dope MC. I think he's one of the dopest we've got in this new gen. And the first album wasn't necessarily it because you relied on singles that were good that you then put on the album, and there wasn't really anything else there was no new stuff that I was personally checking for. And you do something really annoying where you go, every time you rap, and it's very, very grating. So, and again, this is not hating. It's just like, because I don't necessarily think you make boring music. I just think you try it with the first album. It wasn't that great, but I think the new album, Not Waving, Not Drowning or something like that, or Not Waving, But Drowning, I think is better because production is different. I feel like you sound, I feel like he sounds refreshed in it. I don't necessarily think he's relying on a certain formula, even though there are elements of him have his mum there, but he's tackling new stuff. He's definitely tackling new things in this album. He's got more features, makes it more interesting. And yeah, I mean, people will say that they don't necessarily like the tone of his voice and stuff. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with it, but yeah, man, I just don't think it's fair to necessarily call him boring.
Samey's not always bad. Boring isn't even always bad. It depends what you look for in your artist. Like for a purist, they will probably like Loyle because he's got good beats and he can spit. So I think it's always going to be subjective, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Just depending on who you are. If that's what you like, then you'll probably like him. What would you change? What would you want him to change though?
Well, I guess in the context of the scene having our hustlers, having our Stormzies who make like very like different, exciting music, and then you come to Loyle Carner who, you know, he makes solid rap music, which is great. We need something like that in the scene. Like he's not bombastic with it. He's just like, he's regular. He's a regular dude. He makes good, I don't want to say regular music, but he makes good music. Never really stepping it up a gear, if you see what I mean. So And we do need that element in our scene as well, like, because scene's all about balance. Like, you can't have one of the same thing a lot. You need to have variances. That's what makes it exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you asked me if I wanted to change anything,
Mm.
well, to be honest, what I wanted him to do was just pick more interesting beats, pick more interesting subject matter, in his raps, and I think he achieved that in this album. Like, there's a really good song on the album where he's talking about like his struggle with his identity, about how one of his granddads could have potentially owned his other granddad, which I thought was really interesting. Like, that's the sort of thing I want to hear more from him, just like being more introspective rather than he's always has been, but I feel like he reached a new level here. So yeah, man, I just think
I do like Loyle just because of his subject matter as well. Where, like, you know, we're from a scene where a certain type of content is more prominent and popular amongst, like, you know, grime and hip hop heads here. It's nice to have artists like Loyle. They're kind of the subject matter is different from what's out there. So I think, as much as, you know, you might feel, I might feel he's a bit samey, he's a bit boring from sometimes, he's very necessary.
Mhm.
Peter, like, we need more artists like him just to speak their truth and rap about what they want to rap about.
Yeah.
Of course, he can do things to make it more exciting for people like us, but I love what he does.
And I think the truth that he's living does paint him out as to be a certain thing, which is what some people would call corny because of what we've just mentioned about
It
his
can
mum
come
and
across
stuff.
very corny.
Yeah, but he
But
is.
I think it's true to him, though. Like, I believe him.
Exactly. It's very true to him. It's very true to his life. You really believe what you're seeing because, by all accounts, he's a very nice guy.
Have you met him?
I haven't met him, no. Actually, no, I met him once and spoke briefly. But yeah, by all accounts, he's a really nice guy and like he's a nice guy who raps. Yeah, nothing really like spectacular about him, but he does live his truth, and we need more people like that who are making just honest music. And
I don't even feel like he'd be vexed at what we're saying. I think he would take it on the chin, and I think he'd ask questions. That's just what I get from him. I don't feel like he'd be mad sensitive.
I don't think so either, and which is why I rate him because again, like he's just being him, and
We should
you
get him
can't-
on there one day, man.
Yeah, man, you can't criticize. I don't think necessarily think you can criticize someone for being themselves. It might not necessarily be to your taste, which is why people think he's boring. But nah, man, if you listen to his music, you can not like certain things, but to call him boring, I don't know, man. I don't necessarily agree with that.
He doesn't look like a rapper.
He doesn't look like a rapper.
What does a rapper look like?
I'm saying, just looking at him, he doesn't look like a rapper. I think it's what you said earlier, you know that? You can tell by someone.
Or
Just
their
by- just by
presentation.
looking at him. No, I'm not, honestly, I haven't listened to him like that, so I can't really. Just looking
No,
at him.
check him out, though. See
No,
what you
no,
think.
no. I'll have feedback for you guys by the next episode.
But there are a lot of like people that like you could be friends with. Like he's kind of part of like a wider collective of people like Barney Artis, people like Tom Misch, people like Jordan Rakai. Like they're just regular guys.
Yeah, that's
But
what he
they
looks like. That's
yeah,
what he looks like.
exactly. But they make. Good
I
music.
love those artists, like, as a collective. I like what they do, and that's my type of music because I like how true they are. The content is just very true, and I can relate to that. And that's just where I'm at in life. I like listening to music, especially from the UK, where I can relate to it.
100%.
I've got a question. So why hasn't he blown?
What, Loyle?
Yeah.
Yeah, Loyal's like, he might. He if he's not gone already,
Well-
he's going.
I don't feel like he's blown.
Well, I mean,
From the rap side in the UK,
His
yeah,
first album-
Loyal's there, man.
Oh,
Like,
my bad. Maybe I'm just very ignorant. to
guy's
this.
featured in GQ all the time.
yeah, he's
like,
definitely an
he's-
industry
he's-
darling.
He's gone, like.
His first
Is
album
he-
was nominated
wait,
for a
hold on.
Mercury.
Okay, so he's nominated for a Mercury.
I think.
He's on the GQ.
Mm.
Is he a plant?
Nah.
Nah,
Nah,
here
nah.
you go.
His come up was quite organic.
You hear me?
Yeah, from what I saw.
There's nothing,
Not from what I can see. no.
nothing plantish about him. Yeah,
Nah.
even though he's on GQ and Mercury,
So what? Artists can't be on GQ or Mercury.
with no real single.
But he's more than a rapper. He's more than a rapper, though.
Oh, he's got singles though.
That's crossed over. No, he hasn't.
Uh,
He's not
He's
single.
not,
Not-
that type
not
of artist,
like-
though. He's not that type of artist.
Oh no, I'm just asking. Honestly, Banner said I'm just asking.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Yeah, he's got way more to him that endears him to the public.
You lot have sworn by him. I'll give you that. Both of you have sworn by this guy for a little while. So I'll check him out. 'cause
I
you lot-
haven't even sworn by him.
No,
I just
Yemi-
think you would like
No,
him.
you and Yemi have said he's good though. Like you put it this way, Yemi really likes him. And you've never
I
shitted-
swore by Barney Artist.
No, you've never shitted on him, and Yemi likes him. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's like, I'll check him out.
I think it takes a lot for Yemi to call someone shit, though.
No, but Yemi will tell you if it's not for him. That's Yemi's
I
polite
don't
way of
think there's a
saying
lot that isn't for him. No, I think he's quite open-minded.
as opposed to
Me.
us two.
Yeah.
100%. Come on, man.
No. But the order is it's you, then me, then Peter.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. But you're like very close to him.
No, I feel like I'm in the middle of both of you. Stop that.
No,
I think I'm more open-minded than Mo.
Oh, stop it now. Stop.
you call
Get me?
Hey man, anything you don't listen to, you call weirdo shit.
Yeah, exactly. I don't do that.
You.
No, I don't.
Yes,
I
you
just said
do,
I don't
bro.
listen. No, for the people, for the audience, I said I don't like. They said why don't I like certain rappers? I said I don't like weirdo rappers,
What's weirdo rap,
like the Tyler the Creators, the Tyler the Creators people, isn't it?
though? The Earl Sweatshirt.
The Earl Sweatshirts, the people that look like they don't shower, the Childish Gambinos, the Earl
You don't
Sweatshirt.
like Childish Gambino?
I don't like Childish Gambino. The Tyler the Creators, them people there I don't fuck with. That's not me being.
Have you listened?
mine.
But have you listened to their music?
I really have listened to Tyler the Creator. I promise you I have.
Okay.
I have listened to Earl Sweatshirt. I've tried to. I've listened to Childish Gambino. They have a choice. Fucking song was everywhere. But like, I just don't like. No offense. I just don't. You don't know when I say I don't like.
I love
rappers.
weirdo rap, man.
Yeah, but you know what I mean when I
But
say
even
weirdo
Tyler's
rap.
not for me though. I love weirdo rap, but
But
Tyler's
like,
not for me.
But like, you don't know when I say weirdo rap what I mean. So let's not act like I just throw that statement out there.
No, but because of
You
that,
did throw
Yemi
that-
saying
you did,
that.
you did throw that statement out there though.
No, I'm saying, but you don't know what I mean when I say that.
Well,
Yeah,
you need-
off-kiltered content that you don't necessarily, you didn't grow up listening to.
Yeah.
That's just kind of in a different world
Yeah,
to
but
what
then
your
also,
life is like.
Yeah, but if someone says to me right now, don't fuck with gangster rap, okay. You don't fuck with gangster rap.
But that's why Yemi's saying you're not that open-minded.
I said
Because
I'm
I
cool.
was
No,
still
no, no.
listening.
I said I'm not. I said, but you're worse
But
than me.
Mo-
I don't think so because I listened to all
Don't
that
call
stuff.
it weirdo shit then. Call it alternative. Because that's what it is. It's alternative to what is.
Yeah, weirdo's a bit
Popular.
rude. No, weirdo's a bit rude. I'll give you that. Weirdo's a bit rude.
Yeah, it's alternative to what's popular.
You think you're more open-minded than me because you listen to more trap rappers than me.
No, I don't. I mean, I do, but I do listen to more trap rappers than you. But
I don't think you're more open-minded than
And
me.
more Lils.
You know what? Yeah, me.
That's
Who's more open-minded than you being unbiased, brother man?
All right. You know
No,
what?
in
Let
the rap-
Yemi
in the-
answer. Yemi
Okay,
knows
but
more
before
about this.
Yemi answers,
Why are you calling me please?
I'm not even copying, please. Before Yemi answers, though, if Yemi was like to both of us, yo, check this rapper out.
I'll check him out.
All right, that's what I was gonna say. You will probably check him out first.
So what does that make me?
But I still listen to more variety of rap than you.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, me. I'm biased, brother man. Who's more open-minded, King? Me or your brother?
an interesting thing you just said.
You feel me though? I listen to way more variety of rap than you. You only listen.
Can your brother answer?
Yeah, he can, but you only listen to road rap.
Are you mad? No, I don't.
Other than J. Cole.
Not. It's Kendrick road rap.
Other than Kendrick.
What steps in my top 5?
3 rappers. Wow.
Conscious rap.
This guy, bro. What do I say about J-Lick?
Yeah, but he's Muslim.
What's your point?
You're Muslim.
And technically speaking, he's not, if we're going to get into it. He's a 5%. They're not really Muslim.
You should know
They
that.
take a lot of
They're
like
not
Islamic
really, but
teaching stuff.
Pete, you should know that,
The
though.
minute you say, I'm God, you're not Muslim anymore, big man. What's the...
But
la-
they-
What does La ilaha illallah mean?
All right, fine.
You know what I mean?
It's
All
just
right,
rap
fine,
though. It's just
fine,
rap though.
Yeah.
It's just rap.
All right,
But
fine,
like,
fine.
no, I'm just saying, let's
I feel
not
you.
get into it. We're not a religious podcast. But let's not listen to all I do is road shit, because it's not.
Majority.
No, 100%.
Okay, majority.
But the people that he just named, that you just named, like Tyler's, the Childish Gambino's, the Earls, he listens to. Or at least he tried to anyway.
I listen to 6ix9ine. He don't listen to 6ix9ine.
Yeah, but 6
He's going to
9
say that's whack.
No, but 6 9's hood though. That's you. That's in your like lane.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But that's not
I
what
listen to more of a variety.
I don't think you
of
do.
rap. But if Yemi was like, "Yo, check this person out," you're more likely to check it out. Than
That
me.
means I'm more open-minded, brother, man.
No, it doesn't mean you're more open-minded.
That's literally the meaning of open-minded.
Should we just call it a tie?
No,
Nah, it's
no,
not a tie,
because that's the
bro.
definition
It's
of
not a tie,
open-minded.
bro.
The definition, if I tell you to listen to something and you don't, but this person does, that's
Well,
literally the
Peter's more
definition.
vocal in his dislike of people. Which
Whereas
might
I'll
make-
give them a try.
But he might give him a try too.
He just said he wouldn't.
No, I said you're more likely to listen before me.
So what does that mean?
You get to it before me.
This guy.
I just have better music to listen to.
Wow.
In the meantime.
So do I, but I just like, I'm open-minded.
All right, fine. No, you can have it, man.
Yeah.
It's fine. You can have that.
Yeah. Me first, Mo second, Pete last.
Shout out to Tyler the Creator though. Like, I liked your verse on Marshall.
We're not even talking
And I'm
about
not even
Tyler
into
Creator.
Tyler. He's a great musician, though.
I've
that
never,
can't
that's-
be denied.
But let's not, I've never called him whack. That's another thing. I've never called him whack. I've never said Tyler the Creator's whack.
No, because he's not.
I've just said I'm not going to sit there for a whole
But
hour.
even if someone did say he was whack, I'd be like, that's
your opinion.
Yeah.
But Igor, I'm not saying they've lived through all of Igor.
Not asking what their hobbies are.
Like,
I was joking.
but I'm not saying through all of.
No, you weren't.
What's his album called? Igor.
Igor.
Even that's weird.
But
I love weird stuff though, man.
Back to what?
back to Loyle Carner.
This guy trying to bring
Oh,
it
I
back.
thought we finished on Loyle.
Like, who was trying to bring it back for a minute?
No,
fam?
I just wanted to say that to answer the question of is he boring? I'd have to say no. I think generally he's not. He makes music that's true to himself, and he's going to continue doing that. If he's not to some people's cups of tea because of how he sounds and the kind of beats he raps over, cool. But to call him boring is a bit much.
People call Cole boring, so if he's a rapper, he rap, I can see it. But that's what Cole's known for, isn't it? Being boring, per se.
But why is he boring?
I don't think Cole's boring
But why do people say he's boring?
because he's
the way he raps.
any bar. Take Kendrick out of it. Tell me someone that raps that's commercial and they don't call boring. People say Nas boring.
Yeah, that's true.
So basically people don't like lyrical rap.
That's my point. Am I lying?
So it's part of the wider. It's part of a wider.
Tell me a
conversation.
lyrical.
Nobody.
tell me a
no,
lyric-
they've
yeah,
actually
yeah.
accused Pusha T of being quite redundant. with
Exactly.
these
People don't
topics.
like a lyricist is not made for being commercial.
But nobody's called Andre 3000 boring. Ever.
He switches it up though.
But he was switching.
Yeah,
up.
but he's a lyricist,
He's
though.
eccentric with it.
He
Though,
switches
as well,
it up,
man. He
though.
switches it up. I'm talking about just a plain lyricist. That's all you're known for. You're boring when you're commercial. You're not made to be commercial. It's like Joe Budden guy commercial, rapping about fucking all the mental problems he goes through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After a while, you're boring. We don't feel like they're boring because we
But
like
to the
that
general,
shit.
like,
To the general audience,
general
like, come on,
consensus
bro.
is
How many
like
times can you talk?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like Tyler the Creator.
Then in that case, I love boring rap.
We all do though.
Same. Yeah.
We all do.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't like eccentric stuff.
I love eccentric stuff.
Such a stuff is good. For
So
the-
did you
It's
like?
exciting,
So
man.
you don't like Azalea Banks?
Her 212 tune was a banger.
her album Broke with Expensive Taste was good. But she could rap, but also
I don't
could
listen
sing,
to
and she
all
could
of
also switch it up.
You guys want my opinion
What do you want?
on her?
What's your
You don't
opinion?
like her?
She was trash.
Did you
Or
just,
will you think she's eccentric? Though?
She was. She was definitely eccentric.
You know me?
Azalea
across the
Banks
album.
was what?
I mean, she was more eccentric in her actual life than the music, I feel.
Yeah, she wasn't. Let me think. Whack, but like she was. Maybe it's because her person was a dickhead. Also, but that's aside.
Feel you.
Well, okay, maybe I do like thanks to shit,
Yeah, you do.
but
And it's not bad. Like,
It's not bad,
It's just
'cause
what you like, isn't it?
I still fuck.
I
with
went through a period where like that was all I listened to.
Yeah, but then I realized that also like I'm very plain with what I like, bruv. I either like my lyrical rappers or my gangster rappers. It's one of the two, fam. Do you know what I mean?
And that's what
JLX.
we're here.
Yeah.
There we are.
The JLX, the Mos Def, but then also like parts of my top 5.
See, but I listen to everyone, man. Every type of rapper.
So what's your point?
I'm open-minded.
So where do we go from here?
I'm open-minded.
Where do we go from here? By the way,
I want
that's
you
might be at the bottom now.
That's the whoa, pause, fam.
What did you say?
You might be the bottom now.
Why's that pause?
Alright, cool. Let's not do this.
No,
All
you
right.
said it now.
All right. Why is that pause? Ha ha. Fuck that. This nigga looked at me in my eyes.
What's wrong with this guy, bro?
Bro, that's your boy,
This
man.
guy looked at me in my eyes and said, yo, bottom now.
I said the bottom now.
Whoa.
Mo, man.
All right. Well, on that note,
Anyway, what was I saying?
gentlemen,
Fuck, I had something to say as well, man.
what did you have to say?
Nah, honestly, I had something to say. Shit. It's actually going to annoy me now, man. I don't remember it, but I had something to say. What it is, what it is.
You like gangster rap and you
No,
like
I had,
lyrical
besides that,
rap?
it was after that. It was about one of the topics, but it is what it is.
All right, cool. Well, on that note, guys, I guess we can conclude that we are all fans of what supposedly now we've termed boring rap, and long may that continue because we need that to survive. Like this rap needs that to survive. If you don't have it, then there's no foundation. I don't think.
You can tell by our top 5 that we like boring rap. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? This guy's favorite rapper is Black. Thought, how boring can it get?
With this band of 250 people,
Do you know what I mean, man? Just 250 people
That
there
was
waiting
still
for Black
boring.
Thought.
can't be my goat.
All you hear is shh. Can't be, man. Can't even sell out the Indigo, let alone auto. Man said,
Couldn't do it by himself.
yo, fam, man said,
See,
where you-
on another day, yeah.
someone said, yo,
I'll-
man, I saw that at the O2. Where'd you say that?
On-
Angel.
Listen, on another day, I'll be able to respond to that, innit? But because
Because
I'm going through life,
Yeah,
shit, I'm going to let him have this one.
Your goat selling that shepherd bush.
Yo, Mo,
Can't
on everything I love, I'm going to grab this microphone. I'm gonna
Nah. Shout out to
You
Black.
can't even finish the sentence.
Yo, shout out to Black Thought though.
I'm going through it.
Shout out to
Shout
Black
out to Black
Thought.
Thought, man.
But on a level, do you think Black Thought can sell out O2
Oh, by himself?
Yo,
Yeah.
Mohammed, piss
No way.
off, man.
on his ones?
No way.
No, Pete, do you think he can sell it out
Of
O2
course.
on his
On his
ones
ones.
With the roots.
by himself
on his
on
ones.
tour?
Yeah, but he's not solo wise.
Can't be my goal.
I mean,
Who's your goat?
He dropped the solo album, right?
Who's your goat?
he's released
My
solo
goal.
Yeah.
Hove. At me, night.
Alright, cool.
He can sell out
Yeah,
quite a
but
few.
that's the easy go-to though, isn't it?
Okay, then what's Steph?
You feel most of selling like O2 by himself?
He'll sell more than
Most of
think.
the selling like O2 by himself.
Probably
man.
not. Not the O2.
He's doing more than think though. Black Thought.
Yeah,
He's
probably.
easily doing more numbers.
Yeah,
than
because
Black
he's
Thought.
more commercial.
You got to answer for everything.
I mean, hey.
What's Black Thought's biggest commercial song?
I mean, he's part of the roots.
They don't
Solo.
have any.
He's got solo. You know what I mean?
He hasn't got like a.
Yo, what
he
I'm
hasn't
saying
got a big solo
Yo,
song.
he's got to be at Jimmy Fallon at 8 o'clock, right? Can't be Michael.
He's got to clock in and out of work.
He said, yo, Jimmy Fallon, look at him. He's got to start playing. He's got to start tap dancing, right?
Tap-
Can't be Michael.
You men are losers.
Yo, he's got to start shucking and jiving, right? Can't be Michael.
Dance for me, boy.
What?
Dance for me.
You ever see the clips with Jimmy Fallon's singing with another white guest and then getting old songs and mixing it, trying to do karaoke? And he looks at them and they got to start their shit.
Black Fool out here rapping about Game of Thrones.
Can't be Michael. And every
Shout
time,
out, Black Fool.
anytime Jimmy Fallon does a dumb rap, he's got to be there like, ha ha ha. Can't be Michael. With that forced laugh. Nah, can't be Michael.
And on that note, guys, we're going to end it
Yo,
there.
shout out to Black Thought though. All
So-
Black-
Hey,
all
piss
jokes
off, man.
aside. No, all jokes aside, shout out to Black Thought. You're one of the goals.
Shout out to Black Four
I'm
and
going to see you tonight on YouTube, Jimmy Fallon.
shout out Black Four and shout out everybody for listening. Really do appreciate it. Be sure to follow us on all socials. It's at Rhymes Dimes Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. That's RHYMESDIMESPOD. I nearly forgot the spelling. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. We will see you soon. And stay black. And if you ain't black, speak.
That's a great ending. We're leaving that right there, fam.
So we
Stay black, and if you're not black, pain.
peace out.